This is the new entry-level smartphone by Nokia, the Nokia 2.1. Stay with us to find out our opinions about this plasticky yet quite good budget smartphone. Nokia 2.1 is a budget phone that offers many nice things at a very affordable price. However, in order not to get ahead of ourselves, let's start from the beginning. Inside the factory box, HMD included the phone itself, a charging adapter, micro USB cable, user manuals, as well as branded Nokia headphones. We'd say this is quite a rich package for the price. The device that we got comes in blue-silver color option, but also available are blue copper and gray-silver color options. Nokia 2.1 is once again a budget smartphone, so not too much from it should be expected. Still, this phone's display is pretty good. Here we have an IPS LCD display with 720p HD resolution and the diagonal of 5.5 inches. Although this phone is quite young, it doesn't really follow modern trends regarding the display, which is why we have the good old 16:9 aspect ratio display. Pixel density is only 267 ppi, which is not really the best, but it is what it is. The display is quite bright, and even in direct sunlight you won't have too much trouble reading from it. There's also the night mode that will turn the colors into brownish shades, so the colors aren't too aggressive on the eyes at night. Basically, the phone provides good views, but as said before, you shouldn't expect too much from it. Colors are nice, not washed up, and pixelization is visible only when you look for it. It is nice to see that HMD opted to use a Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset in their Nokia 2.1. Although the Snapdragon 425 is an old chipset built on a 28nm process, it's not too bad at all. Of course, this is a budget chipset as well, so you won't be able to run too high demanding tasks, but regular day-to-day use shouldn't be an issue at all. Memory configuration is however disappointing, even in this price range. This phone comes with only 1GB of RAM and 8GB of internal storage. In 2018, this is good for almost nothing, but we have to admit that HMD has paid attention to this. This is why they have placed a microSD card slot into the Nokia 2.1 and allowed storage expansions of up to 128GB. We have to notice, however, that one such microSD card costs almost half as much as the phone itself, so we don't really think that this expansion is worth it. Something that has left an excellent impression, and probably the best thing about the phone, are its speakers. Even some flagships, phones 10 times as expensive as the Nokia 2.1, don't have stereo sound, but this phone has it. And not any stereo sound, but a very good one. The phone sounds amazing, all tones are nicely reproduced and basses are quite deep. This is truly something of worth in this phone. Another good side is that this phone is powered by Android Go version 8.1 Oreo. As you may already know, the Android Go is a version of Android that Google has tailored specifically for budget phones, that otherwise wouldn't be able to run the software. Exactly because the phone runs this type of software, user experience is not bad at all. True, it did happen that the phone has stuttered a few times during navigation and opening apps, but only when this is done for the first time. Every other time, the launches are much faster and smoother. All in all, we must admit that we have expected much worse experience exactly due to the small amount of RAM, but we're pleasantly surprised by how the Nokia 2.1 performed. So far, we've got used to having double camera setup in the phones from 2018, but HMD didn't choose this for the Nokia 2.1, which is why we have only one camera sensor here. As we've already said multiple times, this is an entry-level budget phone, so we can't expect the camera to be particularly good. That said, the camera is only average. This is an 8-megapixel sensor that supports autofocus and HDR mode. Photos made by the primary camera are honestly bad. Even at daytime, details are almost completely gone, colors look washed up, and noise is more than just noticeable. We won't even talk about the night photos. There's really nothing to say about them. The front-facing camera is a 5-megapixel sensor. It too makes quite bad photos, so we definitely won't recommend it for selfies. Still, we think that it will perform relatively okay in video calls. Speaking of video, The main camera is capable of producing videos of maximum 720p resolution at 30 fps. Videos are only average, so we can't recommend this phone for any sort of serious recording, but you'll definitely be able to capture a video or two. Just don't expect movie quality from it. When we speak of connection options, Nokia 2.1 supports many features like Wi-Fi 802.11 with hotspot, Bluetooth 4.2, GPS and GLONASS, and BDS. For wired communications, the phone uses micro USB port, and an important addition is USB OTG. This is only a 3G device that supports 2 nano SIM cards in 2 separate slots on the back of the phone. This is a good thing since it's possible to use both SIM slots together with a micro SD card. Sadly, here we won't find NFC or IC port or any similar advanced connection options. However, these couldn't even be expected from such a cheap phone. Perhaps the brightest point of this phone is its battery. With 4000 mAh capacity, it is more than capable of lasting up to 2 full days. This is of course possible with medium use, and it is capable of delivering up to 128 hours of music reproduction or 19 hours of talking over the 3G connection. Inside the factory box there is a charger, thanks to which the Nokia 2.1 will charge up from 0 to 100% in a little over 2 hours. Nokia 2.1 won't leave you breathless, and it won't let you do wonders with it. However, it will let you perform basic functions, and that it will do well. All this time we talk about this phone being a budget phone, but we never said what that actually means. For the price of only 75 euros, you'll get a modern smartphone that won't really be on top of the offer, but for the price it's more than just good. If you use your phone for just basic operations and you don't really need crazy camera or hardware performances, this phone may be the right one for you.
So this is it. This is the new Nokia 2.1. What do you like about this phone? Let us know in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions or you would like any other device be reviewed, let us know either here or on our Facebook page. If you like this review, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Sit back and relax as we're working hard on new material for you.